Oh, this will be a great wrestling podcast, and you can believe in that.
I knew he was going to do it. I knew.
This is OT3.
Prepare for launch. 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to OT3. I'm Anthony, and of course, I got my great co-host and producer Paul here tonight. Paul, how we doing?
I'm doing well. Anthony doing much better, actually.
Good,
I can breathe.
There you go. And then, of course, I got my other co-host, Matt. How you doing tonight, Matt?
I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm just the guy.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting something. I always expect something from you, but I wasn't expecting that one tonight. I think that one, I like it. I'm about it. I'm about it.
Who is that, anyway? I should know.
The greatest wrestler right now.
No, don't.
Ken
Mr.
Shamrock?
Mr. Roman Reigns.
Okay, gotcha.
You said Ken Shamrock.
He's the, what do they used to call him? The most dangerous man alive.
The most dangerous man alive. Yep, that was right.
That's
Before we talk about the Elimination Chamber, let's talk about some other news that we've heard in wrestling. First and foremost,
Holla.
yes, Teddy Long is going to be inducted into the 2017 WWE Hall of Fame. So that now is Kurt Angle, the Rock and Roll Express. Is it Rock and Roll Express, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Teddy Long is the 3 members so far of the Hall of Fame class. What do you think about Teddy Long being inducted?
I think he deserves it. He had a good run as a GM, good as a awesome referee.
Good manager.
Is he
for a
the
little
first?
bit there.
Is he the first referee technically inducted?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because Hebner
think
won't
so.
be as long as he's in TNA.
Yeah.
So yeah, Long is the first referee also inducted. So good for him. He deserves it.
I agree. I agree with that. Was there any other big news that happened in the wrestling world this week? I feel like, oh, you know what? I want to say, I knew there was one other thing I wanted to. Rest in peace to Chavo Classic.
Yes.
Chavo Guerrero Sr., that is Chavo Guerrero Jr.'s father, and one of the great members of the Guerrero family passed away this past week. So, you know, that's a legend in the wrestling business as well there. So he'll be missed when it comes to that. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
When was his wrestling?
Chavo, I think Chavo, he had to be the 70s and the 80s, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
He was never, that
That's
I know
Eddie's
of.
brother, wasn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, because Chavo's.
All right, here we
uncle
go
was
again.
Eddie. I believe that was Eddie's brother.
Yeah, I think you're right now that you say that, because Eddie was his uncle. So yeah, I think you are correct. But yeah, definitely a tough loss there. But let's talk about some more, I guess, good news, and let's talk about the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, I know you're giggity about that.
All around, I thought the Chamber actually was. I don't think the pay-per-view itself was bad. I think it was better than we expected.
You saw
considering-
how nervous we were last week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We were very skeptical. I mean, we only really, last week when we did the show, there was only 4 matches officially announced. It ended up being 8 with the pre-show match.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 of those matches, too, we talked about beforehand. So we kind of knew going in that those matches were going to take place. I think we called every single match that took place.
Yes, we did.
The only thing we were wrong about was the handicap match. We thought that Ziggler would be involved in some kind of match with one of them, but they made it a handicap match. So
that match was a waste.
I'm sorry, we didn't call all of them. We didn't call the pre-show match. We did not call Hawkins and Mojo.
Because no one expected that.
That's should it have been for the right to face? I mean, the right to be Zack Ryder's tag team partner returns.
Don't even start with that. Ryder's out for another couple months, I think.
Yeah, I really didn't care for that match. I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't watch it. I know Mojo won, but I knew he was going to win. So
I don't think I watched the pre-show. I wasn't really interested in the pre-show matches. Nothing there really got me going.
Yeah, and how about before we even talk about the main card, what did you think about the whole Carmella and Ellsworth sitting in the skybox
This
thing?
is so stupid. Why is this a thing? Why is this even a thing? Can someone tell me why this is a thing? Anthony, why is it a thing?
I don't know.
It should not be a thing.
Shouldn't be. I mean, I didn't. I kind of enjoyed that they put Carmella on the pre-show, let her talk a little bit, and then they did the whole thing with, the two of them sitting up there and then going after every woman's match, and they're trying to just make Ellsworth look like he does anything Carmella says. So anytime Carmella says something, Ellsworth says, all right, I'm going to do the exact thing. Yeah, exactly. That's what they're trying to do. Trying to build his character into something different. But I don't know. I don't know where they're going with that storyline. I don't really see the payoff for either of them. And as you could see
it's
with
ruining Carmella.
Yeah, with Mania coming up, I mean, it's already the card. They pretty much already know the card. I don't really see the SmackDown getting multiple woman matches, at Mania.
Oh,
or
I know.
even Raw for that.
Never mind. We'll talk that after the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah,
There's another
we'll come
news. There's another news.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say. We'll talk about that when we get there. So yeah, let's talk about the first match of the night. And it was one of the first. And you know what? Hats off to SmackDown too. This is the first time on any card I think that I've ever seen that there was actually 3 women's matches.
They announced
on the main card.
They announced that it
So
was.
awesome to them. First match, obviously Mickie James and Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch wins. Not a big surprise. They're going to continue to build her up. I would have liked to see Mickie get a win here, just to kind of help her momentum since her return. But I get Becky Lynch is the younger star that they're going to push she's basically the focal point of the SmackDown Women's division. So she gets the win. Not a bad match. What was your takeaway?
It was a pretty good match. I enjoyed it very much. I'm glad Becky got the win. My brother, on the other hand, was a little upset. Obviously, we know why, because he knows her cousin, and I pretty much tested him after the match. I was like, look, it was going to happen. Mickey's like every other veteran that's come back. They're there to help younger stars get over. So I was like, get over it. Maybe she'll get a title run, maybe, but no. Overall, it was a good match. Good for Becky. Good win.
I agree. Next match was.
I believe it was a tag team turmoil, wasn't it?
No, that wasn't second. No, I just lost. Was it? Was it Cruising? It was Cruz.
Yeah, it was the Apollo Crews.
Yeah, it was Apollo Crews.
Another wasteful match.
What about the way Ziggler came out immediately and threw Kalisto right into the LEDs and busted him on the on the entrance ramp?
I like this side of Ziggler. I like Hill Ziggler. This is awesome what he's doing. I just think he needs to be up with bigger guys than Kalisto. I can see maybe it's helping those two guys out, but
yeah,
Ziggler belongs.
I like
near the
Cruz.
main event.
I've always thought Cruz hasn't gotten what he deserves, so I'm glad to see they're finally doing something for him. But as far as the match, there's no reason Ziggler should have won that match just because it would do. If you're trying to help build these guys, if he beats 2 of them, what's that do for them?
Well, I mean, technically, you think about it as a one-on-one because he kind of just destroyed Kalisto before he even got to the ring.
This is done. Yeah, I think this
thing.
is being done to build Apollo.
Yeah.
Into the mid card to give him solidified there. So, after the match, though, Ziggler put Apollo's foot in the chair, his ankle, and just kept stepping on it. So
Meanwhile, the refs just watch and then do it. That's
what was cracking me up. The refs were just sitting there watching, and then immediately once he does it, they pull the chair right off. It's like, why didn't you pull the chair off when it was on his foot? Why'd you wait till he finished stomping it to do it?
Yeah.
So. We'll see if that ends up being a storyline injury or what they're doing with Cruz there. But hopefully this is maybe a match that Apollo faces Ziggler one-on-one the next time they face, because it wasn't a bad match at all.
Was Ziggler the first person Cruz faced when he came in? No, that was Breeze. I'm sorry. That was Breeze.
Yeah,
Breeze and the heels faced Ziggler first.
The heel started with Ziggler,
Cruz was with Miz, I believe, wasn't it?
I don't remember
Something like
Cruz.
that.
He was on Raw. I don't remember who he debuted against.
Okay.
I can't remember that.
I know he had the feud with the Miz that really didn't do nothing.
No.
Spoilers.
Didn't.
Nets was a turmoil.
Was it Turmoil next?
Yeah. I seriously thought for the first 2, somehow Slater and Rhino were going to go to the final.
You thought so?
I
was hoping for Breezango, man. I think Tyler Breeze is the most underutilized talent.
Here you go again.
It's like the 5th time. I mean, it's just gonna keep going. So
they like the shirt. Whose shirt's that again?
This is The Rock's Under Armour line.
See, that's why they like it. It's The Rock.
Yeah, there you go. This is Tyler Breeze is the most underutilized talent on SmackDown. Him and Apollo Crews, both of those guys in NXT, and I know people are like, oh, he never won matches in NXT, Breeze, but that was the whole thing about Breeze, is that Tyler Breeze was one of the best workers, just like Ty Dillinger is now, but never really got, the fair shot to show what he could do. And they brought him up on the main roster, like you said, he faced Ziggler, and then he really didn't do much after that. And it's kind of frustrating, to be honest with you, because he had potential to be a solid guy in the Intercontinental title picture. But instead, they're putting him in this stupid tag team with Fandango,
Should we tell them
And
what our friend
the
calls them?
fashion police. I mean, come on, man. I mean, in the middle of the match, he's pulling citations out of his pants and throwing them at people. It's dumb.
I mean, let's like Rick Grimes and Shane in their bromance days
Oh God,
before Shane went all crazy.
no.
You actually know what they remind me of? Lieutenant Dangle from Reno 911.
Jeez, that's terrible. But so obviously Rhino and Slater won the first one. Then Rhino and Slater faced the Vaudevillains, continued. Then the Usos came out, and that's when it started to get a little more where you realize the contenders, we're getting closer to the end of the match. So the Usos eliminated Rhino and Slater, and that's when American Alpha hits the tag team champions. What I liked about that part right there was that I know the Usos are the heels, but they were not afraid to get out of the ring and go right after Alpha. Like every other time, usually you see the heel will like back off or get out of the ring and like hide. They went right to bring the fight to American Alpha, and I like that about the Usos. I like that about their characters. I think that's kind of cool how they're doing that. And then of course, Alpha defeated the Usos, and then afterwards the Usos just destroyed Gable and Jordan. And left them, and for everyone pretty much figured the Ascension was last. Like, oh, they're giving these guys away to the Ascension to win this one. But Alpha found a way to be resilient and keep the titles. What did you think about that? Did you like how that was done at the end?
I mean, I don't know how believable you can say the Alpha to win that match. I mean, obviously they were beaten down to where they couldn't even move, and then Ascension come down. First off, Ascension should have won the match. I don't know how Dum Dum decided to go grab the title instead of looking for Chad. But, I mean, can you really think that's believable that they could come back after a beatdown? I mean, they were beaten down, but, I mean, really, the Ascension, I hate to say it, they don't deserve the title. They really haven't done much. I mean, they just came back together after the suspension. I'm fine with American Alpha. I really don't think anyone in that division can touch them until we see the revival come up. I'm going to go ahead and say right now.
Yeah, I think a team needs to be brought up, and I think that the Usos will be their feud going into Mania. And I think after that, like you said, you might see a call-up or maybe a new team that we're not expecting. And then now they're talking about the draft taking place as soon as May to shake things up. So maybe we see something happen then. But I think Alpha is remaining the champs.
You know who would benefit going to SmackDown and to help that division out?
Who's that?
Enzo and Cass.
Yeah, I agree.
I really think Enzo and Cass would benefit the most from that. Because, I mean, they're getting lost in the shuffle because they're doing more singles than tag team stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they have them feuding with Rusev and Jinder Mahal as a tag team.
Yeah, the steroid man from the Middle East.
Yeah, that's not a good team. I'm not understanding that, but hey.
No. The dude literally looks like he's on steroids.
Yeah, I agree.
Someone needs to test him.
So it was Alpha won there. That was the first title match of the night. The next match was another women's match.
Waste of a match.
Which we were not a fan of. I was going to say, and that was Natalya and Nikki Bella.
Why that match took 13 minutes, I don't even know.
The feud's just very... feud is a good feud. It's a good idea, like the way they do it, but the match itself is just not...
It wasn't anything special. This should have been over at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I agree. And no one won again. It ended in double count out, so technically there's still unfinished business. But after the match, ended in a double count out, backstage, the seeds were planted, you could say. This has been talked about now, that a match that will take place at Mania. But when Nikki Bella and Natalya were fighting backstage, she bumped into Maurice and knocked, makeup all over her. The match they're talking about is Maurice and The Miz will face John Cena and Nikki Bella at WrestleMania.
Not a fan.
Not a fan of the match?
No.
Even if that means getting The Miz on the card and getting some, Maurice?
I guess.
If it's not for this match, The Miz is probably in the Battle Royal at best.
I'm just not a fan of that match. I feel like, no offense to Nikki or Maurice, but Cena and The Miz, they need something better. I mean,
they're saying the reason Nikki wants this match because this is her final match. Probably she's going to retire because of her neck.
So she wants one match with her.
She wants one marquee match with John Cena, and this is their way of doing it. And like I said, SmackDown. This is the only way SmackDown's probably going to get multiple women on the card because they're not going to do a multi-woman match. I don't think. If there's even a title match, which we'll talk about when we talk about the women's title match later. But Raw's pretty much, they've already said at Mania is going to be a fatal four-way. That's the plan that they've been going with. So SmackDown's not going to do a multi-woman title match either. So we'll see how that pans out. But we'll bring it now to the last match that was single. It was a singles match again. And to me, this was the match of the night. It wasn't for a title, but it was Randy Orton versus Luke Harper. And
You're
Luke
nuts
Harper,
for match of the night.
Luke Harper showed again why he can be put in big spots if they need him to be. And he's, for his size, can move just as good as anyone else in that
Oh my
ring.
God, those super kicks! Good lord, I
Yeah,
thought
it
he
was just
killed Randy.
fantastic. The power bomb. He hit him. He was trying to pull every stop out to beat Orton. But
Orton did the RG3. His leg gave out.
Yes. Oh man, those super kicks were dirty. I thought it was over. I really did.
Paul, you like that little plug right there? He's
Chris
gone.
would like that a lot more, I think.
Oh, Chris would hate me right now. He's the 20th best quarterback in the league. Don't forget it.
Oh jeez. But Orton gets the victory. Not a big surprise there again. Like I said, Orton is going to be headlining WrestleMania. They're not going to have him lose. They had Harper look very strong in the match though, which was the plan, but they didn't have him lose, which is what I think they wanted to do. And they wanted Orton to go over here. Now, what would you have felt about Harper winning that match? Do you think it would have diminished Orton's star?
You know what? For some reason, I really don't think so. I really don't. I think, Harper's just as big up there. He just doesn't get the. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I think the Wyatt family's holding Harper back. I really do believe him being in there and Bray, taking center stage is really holding Harper back. And I really hope they let him keep going by himself in a single push, because I tell you what, Harper would benefit great. I mean, you saw when he was the Intercontinental Championship, he was great. Title, he was great.
Yeah,
I think
him and Ziggler had a great match at TLC.
Yeah, I think he would benefit from another run. I mean, even put him, now with Bray Wyatt the champion, and then now that we have almost basically 1.5 months till WrestleMania, I wouldn't mind a title match between the two. To be honest with you, there's no problem with Wyatt versus Harper. Of course, Wyatt would go over, but I think they'd put on a hell of a match. Somewhere in that match, I think Randy would interfere, but I think it'd be a great match.
No, I'm with you on that. I think it would be a great match.
The Rock is watching this. He's loving your camera right now.
Yeah.
Because it's going all
no one
on his
else saw
shirt.
that one. Speaking of The Rock, we'll talk about what The Rock said after. I'm sorry, we won't get there yet. But congratulations, actually, to The Rock. He won Entertainer of the Year at the NAACP Awards this past weekend. So it's just crazy to see how much his star has
He's
rose.
the highest paid actor now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. To think, in the 90s, he went from, trying to be in the NFL to getting cut, having $7 to his name and becoming a wrestler, becoming a multi-time champion, and now he's the #1 paid actor in all of, the industry. It's just an amazing feat, and glad to see that he keeps getting recognition like he does, because he's earned and deserves every single piece of it. So, next match, women's title match, Naomi versus Alexa Bliss. I thought the match was sloppy to me. I think out of the 3 women's matches, I won't say it's worse. I think Nikki and Natalya was still not the best one, but the ending was sloppy to me. The Alexa Bliss going off the top rope, Naomi puts her knees up, and then Naomi hits the split leg moonsault, and it just looked like Bliss wasn't in place for it, and she kind of hit her on the side. It looked a little sloppy, but Naomi's the champion, and you know what? I've said this, and you can vouch for it. I've always said she is the most athletic woman on the roster, and maybe one of the most athletic people on all of the roster. And she finally gets what she deserves and gets the title. And I mean, you heard the crowd chanting for her. You deserve it, and rightfully so. So congratulations to Naomi. And now, unless something changes in the next 7 weeks, she'll be walking into WrestleMania in her hometown as the SmackDown Women's Champion.
Good for her. I mean, I'm same with you. A little sloppy, but congratulations. She deserves it. I mean, she went from being a dancer with, what was the guy's name? Brodus Clay to now a champion. So good for her. She's almost back to her dancing routine at the beginning of the thing.
Yeah.
Looks like you're in a club.
I like that entrance. That entrance is awesome. So let's talk about what we read now. I think we read the same thing about the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania.
Oh, no. I was talking about one of the pay-per-views they just announced.
Oh, okay. No.
Yeah.
So I just read, actually, before we started, that the word is, with all the matches so far announced for WrestleMania, that the SmackDown Women's title might not even be defended at WrestleMania.
Oh, what? Come on. That's so disrespectful to those women.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go, Paul. Thank you.
So
that's ridiculous.
Let's finish the Elimination Chamber, and then let's talk a little bit about Mania, just that card, what the way it's shaping
Mania,
up.
can we talk about the other one first?
Yes, we'll bring that up. Yes, I know what you're talking about. So the main event comes I know we were all talking about it, predicting who's going to start the match,
You got everything
and
right.
except of who was starting. I wasn't right
Oh,
about
yeah.
that at first. I had someone different, but then after that, I got everyone coming in order who was going to be next. But AJ Styles and Cena started the match. I thought for sure when that happened that they were going to get AJ out of the match quick. I thought that was just their way of like, hey, you know what? Styles had a great run, but it's time to have him move on. I was wrong, though. I was definitely wrong about that. And all 6 of them were technically in the match until the first elimination took place. Because The Miz, he never left his pod, but he was in the match. He just hadn't left his pod because he
that
saw
had written
Corbin staring him
all
down.
over it.
But then the way they eliminated Corbin to be the first elimination,
Yeah, just to roll up, that was stupid. But I'm glad he
I
came
really
back
thought-
in and destroyed him, though.
I really thought he was going to be the one to eliminate the most people. And he gets eliminated first and then just destroys Dean Ambrose. But there were some great spots all over in that match. On top of Cena was taking a lot of bumps in that match too.
Dude, Cena did the most off the cages. It was nuts. What was
Yeah.
he thinking? And then AJ, I think, got confused and thought it was an Ultimate X match at one point.
Yeah, trying to climb up. I
That
told
was
you.
great.
He was going for it.
I don't think anyone's ever climbed it like that. On the
Now
side.
there was a lot of people going up on that cage more than usual, I thought. But Ambrose going through the pod, man, holy moly, there was no break there. He just went straight through.
Oh yeah.
But so Corbin gets eliminated first, then Corbin takes out his aggression on Dean Ambrose for eliminating him. Do you think that we'll talk more about those two, and if that maybe is going to lead to an Intercontinental title match between the two of them?
I hope so.
So Corbin leaves Ambrose just laying there. The Miz finally leaves his pod once the doors close again and eliminates Ambrose. And the Miz got a little bit of offense in there against the 3 guys. He had all 3 of them in the corners, was doing the drop kicks, the awesome clotheslines, got a little bit of offense. And then, of course, Cena caught him, hit him with the attitude adjustment. Yep, that's right. He was doing that, mocking
Did the
Daniel
yes
Bryan
kits.
still. Hit a skull-crushing finale. But finally, Cena eliminates him, and it's down to 3. It's down to Cena, Wyatt, and AJ Styles. So Cena and Styles started the match, and now they're in the final 3.
Yep.
This right here is where I was like, okay, are they going to eliminate Styles here, or are they going to let Cena stay? Cena goes for the attitude adjustment on Wyatt. Wyatt reverses it and hits the Sister Abigail, and it's down to Wyatt and AJ, and they officially will have a new champion tonight. What was your thoughts when that happened?
I mean, I was just thinking it's going to be Bray Wyatt. Everything they've said come down to Wyatt Orton in WrestleMania. It's going to come down to him, and he stopped. But the clothesline that he put on AJ. Oh my
man.
God, he folded him in half, and then AJ hit the 450, went for the pin, then went for the phenomenal forearm, and got reversed into his Sister Abigail. But that clothesline, I thought he killed him. I thought he was dead on the clothesline itself.
Yeah, no, it was a brute, and the way when he had him down with it, like he was belly down and he was just dropping elbows on the back of his neck, man. It was a vicious Bray Wyatt, and it all ended. AJ hits the 450 splash. Wyatt kicks out. He goes up to hit the forearm. As he's coming down, he gets caught. Sister Abigail and Bray Wyatt has finally grabbed singles gold here in the WWE. And yes, I know he won the tag team titles a month or 2 ago, but he didn't even win that match. He wasn't even in the match. And regardless of that,
Yeah, he was in that
I'm sorry,
match.
he was. It was Bray and Orton. You're right. It was Bray and Randy.
I know you said that
But
last
still,
night, and I was like, wait, what?
he still hadn't grabbed singles gold. It took over 3 years. He finally claimed it. And I loved the way that the pay-per-view itself ended with Orton coming out onto the entrance ramp, pulling down his hood and just looking at Bray, and Bray's just pointing up to WrestleMania and, just saying, follow me. And I'm
Congrats
excited.
to Husky Harris.
Congrats to Bray Wyatt. Well-deserved. Been talking about this. I can finally say that he's no longer being underutilized because he finally got a
mind.
title.
Take that back. I
What?
was going to say, is he the first Nexus member to win the world title, but I forgot about Daniel Bryan.
Yep. If you count Daniel Bryan. In the original, yes, he was the first.
I don't count CM Punk. He wasn't. He just came in.
No.
I think
But
Wade Barrett still should have been the first, but that's the
are
difference.
you happy about Bray Wyatt winning?
Yes, of course. He deserves it. It's finally, I don't care what Justin says that he doesn't see him with the title. Yeah, Justin, I'm calling you out. But I think Bray Wyatt deserves it. All the stuff he's done, he's great in the ring. He's great on the mic. Probably one of the best, probably top 5 on the mic right now, behind Enzo, Paul Heyman, people like that. But congrats to Bray Wyatt, and I'm really interested to see where they go with Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Are they gonna? Is he gonna try to do the old "I lay down" or "you lay down, I get on top of you" thing, or is he gonna be like, "All right, let's do this"?
Well, supposedly ESPN interviewed him, and he said it still really hasn't sank in, but that the Wyatt family is over. He said that was what was said in the interview. What that means, if it means that the Wyatt family, because it's done with Harper leaving, or if him and Orton are still going to be partnering together, or what they're going to do, I'm sure we'll see more of that Tuesday, which is why I'm actually excited for SmackDown. But there's no more pay-per-view now for SmackDown. SmackDown's just got SmackDown for the next 7 weeks, so we'll see how they build that up.
I don't know how you're gonna be able to do stuff.
WrestleMania is going to be built up great. That's the one thing I like, because for a month, there's going to be no pay-per-views at all until Mania, because Raw is going to be in 2 weeks, I think, Fastlane, right?
I'm looking that up as we speak.
Yeah, I think Raw is in 2 weeks, so we should be getting more matches for that announced tonight. But overall, Chamber, the whole pay-per-view, you think I'm guessing your match tonight was the Chamber itself.
Yeah, it was definitely.
All right. I think Orton and Harper was really good. I don't know. I like the match, and I think my star of the night goes to Luke Harper.
I agree with you on that. Yep.
I think Luke Harper really shined. And then the second one I would put as my start was Naomi for finally capturing the women's title. But, yeah. Still a good pay-per-view, you'd say, for SmackDown again? They continue their trend of good pay-per-views?
Yeah, they did. 3 weeks until the Raw pay-per-view.
When is it? March
5th.
Okay. Yep, so 3 weeks away. So that's good. They spaced it out a little bit. And then it'll be like less than a month until Mania from there. See, well, I don't know why they didn't do SmackDowns next week. They could have did 3 weeks in between the Rumble and the Chamber. But hey,
I don't know. I'm fine.
it is what it is. It's over now, right?
Yep. Speaking of SmackDown exclusive pay-per-views, just
Yes.
announced today, Money in the Bank will be exclusive to SmackDown. Why? This should be a joint pay-per-view, or what they should do is put it back in WrestleMania, put 3 and 3, and let them fight it out, because that's how you get more people involved.
Yeah, they could do 4 from each side.
Was it always
I read
8? That's a lot.
They've done eight-man ones.
Have they?
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't do that. I hate how it's just one brand, because that means there's only going to be one. I liked it when even before. Remember when they had the brand split? They had 2 ladder matches before.
Yeah, they used to do it all the time.
Why not? I don't like it. I was upset when it was announced. I thought it was stupid. I think you agreed. James agreed. It's not fair, because now Raw doesn't have Money in the Bank. Now SmackDown had the Rumble. Now they're gonna have Money in the Bank. If you looked at it.
Yeah. And they had the Chamber. I mean, if you count that as something too, you know what I
they're
mean?
getting pretty good gimmick matches. I mean, Raw had Hell in a Cell, but
Yeah, that's just one paper. And they actually had 3 matches in it, which I'm happy about. But and then SmackDown had TLC. That's what I'm saying. So, and now I think, if I'm not mistaken, too, that SmackDown has Extreme Rules.
I gotta see which one's coming back to DC. I don't know if they announced that yet.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that SmackDown. I mean, hey, I love SmackDown, so I'm not going to complain. But the reason that I read that Vince kept as a one pay-per-view, one brand pay-per-view, is because he didn't want to have to do a big 5. That like Money in the Bank was part of the big 5 pay-per-views, because he felt that NXT would need a pay-per-view if they did that. The only way I'm okay with this happening, Money in the Bank, which I know it's going to end up being that it's just one Money in the Bank match, is if they do some kind of thing where like the NXT guys get a chance and the winner gets a contract to be on SmackDown to have a second ladder match. Because I'm tired of doing these pay-per-views that are, themed towards a central like idea, and they have one match all night. It makes no sense. Like you said, Money in the Bank, they used to do Raw and SmackDown had one. Now we're just going to have SmackDown only has one, and that's going to be the only ladder match all night. Why not just go back to WrestleMania having it then? You'd include more people in the match, like you said. Or, hey, if you don't want to do SmackDown, put it at SummerSlam. Put it at SummerSlam. Do something. There's no reason for it to be its own pay-per-view if you're just going to have one brand involved in it.
Well, this
it ruins the whole spectacle.
There's no pay-per-views this year in DC. Well, screw you, Vince.
Didn't you just have one this past year?
We usually get one every year.
I'm saying, didn't you just have one like recently, though?
No, what did we have? Battleground?
Battleground?
Yeah, that was back when?
Way back when it was July.
Yeah.
There was a Groupon for an event in the Patriot Center. Patriot Center?
Yeah,
It's
it's
in
one of their
Virginia.
road. Yeah, it's one of their road to WrestleMania things.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a live event?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I thought I saw
know.
WrestleMania. I was like, oh snap!
yeah.
I guess.
No, WrestleMania will be here in Orlando.
Ooh, lucky.
You go. You better film some stuff.
I'm not
Get
gonna
some
film
interviews.
nothing.
Go get a media pass.
Yeah, I got a media pass. Huh?
Yeah. What if I work on that? I'll try to work on that. If I can get you a media pass, I'm gonna send you an audio recorder.
That'd be
And,
awesome.
Yeah.
Paul gets you a
Why
media
don't you
pass.
come? Why don't you get down here, Paul, and we can both go. We both do the media pass.
This is true. I like this
There you go.
idea.
I've been screwed.
Sorry, Matt. You know you're not allowed to go anyway.
It's the OT3 screw job.
When
Don't
are they
get it,
gonna have
Brendan.
WrestleMania in Vegas?
Oh man, that'd be fantastic. I don't know if
I
ever.
tell you what, if they get that football team
Raw's
there,
actually in Vegas tonight, though.
I tell you what,
Oh, is it?
if they build that football
Yeah.
stadium there, or wherever the hockey arena is, depending how big they are, they could come there. I don't know what the weather's like in
True.
Vegas during April. I don't know.
It's always
It's
Do
always
they,
warm.
yeah,
hot
do they,
and-
do they ever have a raining season or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean it was raining when I was there in January, so I mean there's a chance, but it's not. It's usually more humid, like Paul said. It's usually warmer there.
Well, most stadiums now that they build are all retractable roofs anyway.
Yeah. Oh, in Vegas they would probably make it retractable because of how hot it is outside.
Yeah,
I think that would almost be a given.
Yeah, you can't play a football game there.
freaking hot.
No, I was
hot.
talking to a guy there
The
when I was there,
desert,
and
yo.
they said in Vegas it's 110 degrees at 2 a.m.
Yeah, but it's
So
a
that's
dry
But no
Dry
heat.
humidity though.
It's
Okay,
a dry heat,
yeah.
so you don't really.
It's a
I
dry
mean, you
heat.
feel it, but it just you go outside and your eyeballs start to like cook. It's crazy. So every time you blink, it's just like a nice like cold bath for your eyes. It's crazy.
Yep.
Anyway,
Unbelievable. But yeah, I think that wraps up our Elimination Chamber preview and our talking about the SmackDown exclusive being Money in the Bank now. Do you want to talk about Raw and SmackDown first, or do you want to talk about how WrestleMania is shaping up now that we saw Chamber and SmackDown's done now?
Let's do Raw first tonight. I mean, we
All right,
have
so Raw tonight, the big match first of all that we
Stealing
know.
my glory there.
Go ahead.
I'll say the women's title match. You got Bayley versus Charlotte.
Yes. Who are you taking?
I'm gonna go with the bold prediction. I'm gonna say they do what Sasha did. Sasha won on a Raw, didn't she?
Yeah, Sasha won on the Raw.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
she
say
didn't win on
Bayley.
pay-per-view,
I'm
remember?
gonna say Bayley's gonna win on a Raw.
I think Charlotte retains tonight.
I think
they're
Bayley
gonna
wins
keep the
and then
title on
Charlotte gets it back at Fastlane to keep her under.
Yeah, I'm
undefeated
tired of the hot potato with that title.
streak. They seem to like it.
No, I think Charlotte will not lose that title until WrestleMania,
And
and I
then
don't
you-
think she'll be pinned to lose it.
Do you think Bayley's gonna win at WrestleMania?
I think
For the
Sasha is
Orlando
going to
thing?
win in Orlando.
Really?
Yes.
You don't think they
That's
have
early
Bayley?
prediction though. It's still a while from now. We'll see how they end up building her character because there's still that talk of the heel turn.
That could
know,
be
so-
tonight.
Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe we'll see what happens. The other big news, finally, hopefully, I shouldn't say finally because it's been said that she debuts tonight and then she doesn't. Emelina is supposed to debut tonight. Do you see Emelina showing up tonight, Matt? Or do you think it's another thing that's gonna get pushed off again?
Nothing can push off. What's she gonna do? Is she gonna interfere in the match tonight?
I don't know.
Getting
They say
tired of
she's
this
debuting.
nonsense. Don't care.
So we'll see. Emelina,
When I see
the
it, I'll be
return.
happy. Until then, go screw. I'm tired of
Yeah.
being screwed over by that. It's been 2 months now. Stupid. This is dumb. Find something
Yeah.
for her to do, and then do it.
I don't think they're gonna do that
Have
anytime
her
soon.
come out with Cass and Enzo, and then make Carmella jealous, and have a cross promotion match.
Oh, jeez.
Who cares?
James Ellsworth, Carmella, and who against?
Ellsworth and Carmella versus Cass and Emelina.
Oh, Jesus. Please keep that match. I don't want to see that.
I just want to see Ellsworth get killed.
And then the other big thing tonight, the Festival of Friendship of Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho.
We should have one.
I don't want to have a Festival of Friendship.
Festival of co-hosts?
Festival of Friendships.
All right, fine. We can do the Festival of Friendship. When are we doing it? Next week?
We'll do it next week.
What does that
Next
mean?
week.
Is that the
I don't-
same thing as
no
like
one really
Festivus
knows,
or
man.
Something like that.
No one really knows what the Festival of Friendship means.
I think this is where they turn on each other.
I'm still here. Don't worry.
Festivus.
This is where someone
Festivus for the rest of us?
Yes.
This is where someone turns on each other. I guarantee it. I think that's where it's going to happen. And then Jericho's going to cost Owens the title at Mania. Not Mania, Fastlane.
You think so?
Yep, I think this is where it happens. Why not? What do you think they're coming out being friends in this festival? I think this is where it's going to happen.
Possible.
Let's see.
I couldn't do the Zoom no more, man. I couldn't do the Zoom.
Well, at least scoot over so we at least see your face.
I'm going to eventually. I'm going to move over slightly. Don't worry.
Okay.
So, are we doing the Festival of Friendship next week? Is that the plan?
To be determined.
To be determined.
Depends on how
Festival
you.
of Friendship.
Depends on how nice you are the next couple days.
What? How nice I am.
I may just come behind you, hit you with a steel chair.
I mean, at this point, you might as well, so I could shut this camera off.
Let's do a code breaker.
Thing is on the fritz.
May do a code breaker on you.
A code breaker and then a steel chair?
Yep.
I mean, that's just not right.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with tonight's gonna be the night they end this tag team.
You think they're going to end Team Jericho tonight?
Yep.
No.
No?
Before the Goldberg match?
Yep. Why not? Set the seed.
And then Goldberg squashes Kevin Owens. That's your plan?
In a minute. And how long was the match with Lesnar?
Minute 25 or minute 26? Minute 25.
Owens lasts till minute 30 just to say he's lasts longer.
I think he's gonna. That's what I think they're gonna do. I think he's gonna get beat. But I mean, it's almost inevitable that he has to lose like that. You know what I mean? Because what's
Was
to
it
say
safe
of Brock
for
Lesnar?
Lesnar?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
He's gonna come out, get speared. Actually, I think he'll come out, go for a quick pop-up powerbomb, and then right after he throws Goldberg, he's just gonna get wrecked.
oh jeez,
He's gonna
That'd be
get
terrible.
destroyed. Like
I'm not looking forward to it.
for this main event, I'm gonna be sure not to use the bathroom like a Survivor Series. I'm just gonna wait.
No, don't. Yeah, you saw what happened last time you did that. Please don't. He walked away.
right.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Paul?
Yeah, he went to the bathroom and it was over.
Came
Yeah, he
back, I
went to
see
the bathroom,
Goldberg
he came back,
celebrating
he's
with
like, "What
the
do you
sun. I'm like, what just happened?
That
Gotta
was
rewind it.
That's
My
pretty
wife's
funny.
yelling, it's over. I'm like, what? What do you mean? I was like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's not here.
No. So Guillermo made a good point tonight. Do you think that if Bayley wins, that Sasha turns heel tonight?
I already said I thought tonight was going to be it.
No. Do you think Sasha turns heel?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said I think this is
Oh.
going to be the night. Either she's going to cost Bailey or something's going to happen. This
I
is
know.
it. This is it for Sasha and the Bailey, whatever their little friendship. Because wasn't Sasha a heel in NXT?
Sasha was a heel, yes,
Yeah,
but
she
she was
came-
also a face. She was both.
Yeah,
but she was a heel. She used to team with Becky Lynch.
Becky was
They
a
used
heel?
to be. Yeah, Becky was a heel too. Yeah.
Told you I wasn't big into NXT until you got me into that one London pay-per-view.
Yep. No, Becky and Sasha were both heels at one point, and Charlotte and Bayley used to be like together, like they partnered to face them. So that's what kind of started all those fatal four-way matches between the four of them.
The Four Horsemen. Yeah, I think tonight's going to be the night Sasha turns either to screw Bailey or comes down, celebrates, and then just clotheslines the hell out of Bailey.
Guillermo just said they just got to the arena together. Could that be a sign of heel tonight?
Yep.
It could be. It could be.
Bye. Bailey Bates, whatever the hell they're going to call themselves.
I don't even know. What about Baymella? I love Bailey and Carmella. That was Baymella. That was another team.
That's right. Then Carmella became a heel.
Yep.
They're not. I mean, there's nothing for her to do on SmackDown. It's ridiculous.
No.
So what happens on SmackDown?
Orton and Wyatt, I think, start the show. Cena's going to say he wants his rematch. Bliss wants her rematch. I think Bliss and I think they're going to have another big SmackDown like they did. What was it in between
I think they are. I think they're going to have like a pay-per-view
that
style.
wild card type thing?
Yeah,
What it was
they're-
called, right?
Yeah, they're going to have a pay-per-view style SmackDown. And you know what? I'm still trying to think what they're going to do with American Alpha, man. Because after the Usos,
Usos. It's gonna be the Usos, and then someone's going to get brought up.
who
Someone's
gets
either going to get
up?
brought up, or the like I said, the draft is coming. It's going to shake stuff up for all the divisions.
Do you see the revival coming up during the draft? Or do you see maybe
Uh,
DIY or Authors of Pain? I see. You know what? To be honest with you,
I
know
see the revival.
I know they just won the titles. They could bring up Authors of Pain because they really don't have a dominant team like that on any
Yeah,
division.
but then you deplete NXT because they really don't have anybody either right now, man.
Maybe
Those
the-
three teams really the only three teams you got other than Sanity.
I want to see Hideo and someone start a tag team with each other.
I was gonna say I could see something like I wouldn't mind that either. Hideo coming up and joining someone in a tag team. And to be honest, I know like it's such a weird thing, but just for tag team's sake, put Mojo and Hawkins together. Just to give another team, and then just be like, you know what, they're working together because they want to, Ryder's their best friend or something. That could be the way they work together. Something, or Cruz and Kalisto, keep them as a tag team. Something. You need a new team. You need a fresh team, because like you said, the way they built the rest of those
They
five
should have
teams
kept
up,
the Lucha Dragons together. That was stupid.
yeah, well, they did that, which didn't make sense. Was why Kalisto was the one that went to SmackDown, because he could have stayed on Raw and been in the cruiserweight division.
So, speaking of Raw and cruiserweights, Are they planting the seed for Eris versus Neville?
Oh yeah, I think so. I think that's almost a
How
guarantee.
good
And
of a match?
congratulations, real quick, to Jack Gallagher winning on 205 Live. He'll face Neville at I don't know if it's at Fastlane. They haven't officially announced when
I
yet,
think it
but
is. You know what? I really think if that's the match of WrestleMania, Neville and Austin Aries, they have the ability to steal that show.
if they have
I
enough time.
I know they wouldn't get match of the night or anything because the time, but they could if they even got 10 or 15 minutes, they could steal the show.
Perfect segue. Let's talk about WrestleMania now.
Speaking
Talk
of
about Aries and Neville.
real quick about WrestleMania, did you hear about the Undertaker Shawn Michaels thing?
No, what happened?
The first time they
yeah,
fought,
that
it
they
was
were
only
going to be the
supposed to be
third match.
15 minutes.
10 minutes.
And they were
I heard,
like,
yeah, 10.
and they were like, no, nope, not happening.
They were going to put him on third.
I'm so happy they switched because they both looked like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no, they were going to put him on third.
Look at that. Good, Paul. That was amazing what you just did. Good job.
So
Man.
I know we still got a ways to go on this road to WrestleMania, but this is something I read today, and it was kind of like there's 9 titles, right, between both shows. Last year there was 10 matches. Am I right with the pre-show?
Yes.
Okay, so if there's 9 matches, 9 titles, only 10 matches, they've already announced. Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. Technically, it's not for the title yet, so that's one match. Bray Wyatt and Orton. That's technically the match. Orton will be in the title match. So if you don't want to say Wyatt, we could just say Orton versus whoever the champion is at the time. That's 2 matches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Those are 2 confirmed matches already. So that's 2 matches definitely in the books, written down. That's going to happen at WrestleMania.
Did you say Styles and Shane?
No, that's not. Now they're saying that's not on the table officially. They said the only 2 matches SmackDown officially has is the Wyatt and Orton match for the title, and then the mixed match with Maurice and Miz versus John Cena and Nikki are confirmed.
You know what's a match I think you could book?
Well, there's a lot of that's what I'm saying. This is what they're saying is on the card, and then we'll talk about what could happen because they're saying on the Raw side, you go back, Roman is going to face The Undertaker,
and then Goldberg.
Kevin Owens is going to face Jericho. They're saying for the United States title. The fatal 4-way for the women's title between Nia, Sasha, Charlotte, and Bayley. We're at 6 matches already. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal is 7. We have not talked about a cruiserweight match. We have not talked about either Raw or SmackDown title.
Goldberg,
and we haven't talked about Goldberg Lesnar is already in. That's the first. Them and Bray Wyatt, those 2 are done. That's what I'm saying. So we haven't talked about those titles, the cruiserweight or the SmackDown Women's title. They're saying Raw will probably get a multi-man tag match. And the Intercontinental title hasn't been talked about yet either.
I think they plant the seeds for Corbin and Ambrose. And I'm sorry, all you Ambrose fans, I want Corbin to win the title. For a big man, the fact that he's been working with Kane seems like it's really paying off lately. I don't know if you noticed, but it seems like it.
No, I agree.
think it is.
No, I think Corbin's awesome.
Same for Strowman. Working with the Bit Show is paying off tremendously.
Yeah.
I think Corbin's due for a singles run, and I want to see Corbin by the end of the year being the world title picture.
There has to be some kind of multi-man ladder match for one of the titles to get more people on the card. And I think SmackDown, like I said, the singles match, I hope Corbin gets a one-on-one shot and gets the title and wins from Ambrose.
We all thought it was going to be the cruiserweights, but I think now it's going to be, straight's going to be Neville versus straight up Aries.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Neville versus Aries. And I think if Jericho drops this title, I could see the United States title being in a ladder match. But from what I'm hearing, they want that Andre the Giant Battle Royal to be one of the bigger ones this year. They want it to be very star-studded.
It was nothing last year.
Yeah, it wasn't made a big deal. It was put at the end, and DDP showed up and Shaq, but Corbin won, which was great.
You forgot about Shaq Big Show.
Shaq Big Show. It's another confirmed match. So let's just talk about, like I said, let's talk about those matches before we talk about what could happen. But aside from what's been talked about for months now. So Lesnar Goldberg's 1. Jericho Owens is 2. Roman Undertaker's 3. The Fatal 4-Way Women's title match is 4. Then number 5 on the SmackDown side, you go back, you got Orton and Wyatt. You have Nikki, John versus Miz Maurice. So we're now at what, 6 matches?
Yep.
Right? And those are 6 matches that have been on the paper, been on paper now for a while. Then AJ is not mentioned yet. That's a match they've talked about him and Shane taking place. That would be 7.
Because they want Shane on the card, they said.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So that would be 7.
What happens with Triple H with him?
Triple H and Seth. Again, not sure what happened with Seth. That's 8.
Rumors just came out that Seth is going to be ready.
Exactly. So that's 8 matches. Okay? How many of those matches did we just talk about aren't for titles?
How many more can you add in?
They don't have the time for it. That's what I'm trying to
Well,
tell you. So
you forgot about what could be on the pre-show.
yeah, but 10 matches last year was including the pre-show. And the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, we're at 9. And I have not mentioned another title match. You get what I'm saying?
I can see.
I don't know what they're going to do. And Raw has majority of the matches.
You cannot push this any more than what it is. You have to do 7. It's going to go past 11. Remember last year went to 11:30? It's going to happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, they have to
Also,
have 12 matches.
You forgot it's going to take 10 minutes for when they announce the Hall of Fame people.
Yeah, well, that they'll figure out.
I know, but you got to include that with time frame in.
But 12 matches they're going to have this year. Easy.
WWE, The Rock cannot take 25 minutes to do his shit this year. That took an incredible amount of time, wasted a lot of time for nothing. Just for John Cena to come out, do an FU, and was like, oh, I'm back. And then we didn't see him for another, 3
Attitude adjustment.
3 months? The Rock did it just to get a record for beating Eric Rowan. Way to jobber the Wyatt family.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is what they're going to do. And how about that? Bray Wyatt's going to go from not being on WrestleMania last year, like in a match, technically, to being in one of the main events. Good for him.
Oh,
Good
you
for
know
him.
what? Before we even go on, we forgot the anniversary today.
No, I was going to talk about that at the end. I know. Yeah. It's okay.
I didn't know if you forgot.
No, I didn't forget, man. I didn't forget.
And then Guillermo just wrote another
Guillermo,
20 minutes. Well, you saw what they did for the Royal Rumble where they put the big guys on the thing.
They had to.
I didn't notice that. I never even really thought
No,
about
they
it.
didn't go to the ramp. And I was like, no way they did that. And then I was like, I went back and watched it. I'm like, you know what? They didn't show the ramp when these guys came down. So maybe they really did do that. Oh, man, that's funny. But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't think Big E would need that lazy bum.
Yeah.
He deserves to lose his
That's
title
funny.
now.
Oh, my God. So 9 matches, right? Before we even really get into it. I really think the SmackDown Women's title is not going to be defended. And it's a shame because now they're saying she'll end up being in a tag match. And this will be they were saying the last time a one-on-one women's match took place for a title was in 2007 at WrestleMania 23. At WrestleMania. It was Melina and Candice Michelle, maybe? I don't Google that to quote me on that. But it was a lumberjack match, so technically all the women were at the ring still. Or lumberjill match, as they called it. But that's crazy. I can't believe that you're not going to have all the titles defended. You know what I mean? It's crazy to me.
It was
Now, to be honest with you, it makes more sense to me.
Melina versus Ashley.
Ashley, okay. That was the last time. But regardless of that, it makes a lot more sense to me, and I still don't like that it's going to be for the Universal title, but it makes more sense to me of why Goldberg and Lesnar is getting the Universal title. Because, as you just saw when we name all those matches, if they don't have the Universal title, then, Owens and Jericho, yeah, they might be for the Universal title, but then the United States title would be dropped again to another match, so that might not be defended. So it's starting to make a little more sense to me as to why that match is for the Universal title. Not a fan of what's going to happen because then one of them's not going to be there, for 3 or 4 months when they win the title. But, such is life when it comes to that kind of situation.
Yep.
Pretty much. Yeah, I think we'll definitely be talking more WrestleMania as we get closer to WrestleMania. Like Matt said earlier, it's over a month and a half till we still have Fastlane in between. But once Fastlane passes, it'll just be straight. Just a little under 4 weeks until WrestleMania takes place. So we'll really have a better idea out of Fastlane for the Raw side as well. And hopefully, on SmackDown, we'll really stuff will start to shape up for what they're going to do with some of these other guys like Cena, Styles, Corbin, guys that aren't going to be in the title match, even Harper. So I have a feeling a lot of these guys will end up being in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. So, yeah. Paul, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Well, before you hand it over to Paul, I think you got to announce her thing before he does the last part.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I got it.
All right.
I got it.
Well, go ahead, Paul. I trust Anthony.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining in the chat room. Social media is where you can find the OT3 Podcast. At OT3 Podcast 1 is the Twitter handle. OT3podcast@gmail.com is where you can shoot some emails to us. And you can follow us. Everything that's going on with OT3, all the surveys, all the comments, and opinions and everything that Matt and Anthony put out there. You'll find it there. If you subscribe or follow facebook.com/off-the-top-turnbuckle. That's everywhere where you'll be able to find everything that's going on with OT3. Whoop.
Yeah. So before we close it out and I say, good night to everybody, I do want to say, since Matt doesn't think I remember and wants to continue to push it, I just want to say thank you to everyone that watches OT3. I know we say it a lot. Thank you for watching, but it was just over a year ago now we came up with the idea for the podcast. But actually on February 15th was our debut episode last year in 2016. And, I know we're 2 days shy of when we actually made our debut for our first episode of the podcast, but we've had a great time, and I hope you guys are enjoying all the episodes, and thank you for continuing the support, to everybody that watches it every week and shares our videos. I know right off the top of my head, I could think of some of the guys and some of the girls that, people, friends of ours, family that continue to post and continue to give us, great things, telling us how the show's going and that you enjoy watching, even though you don't watch wrestling. We really do appreciate it. We have a lot of fun doing this every week. I know some of the episodes might seem like we're talking about the same thing, but it's because with these pay-per-views, there's such a quick turnaround and you got to talk about them. So most importantly, too, besides thanking you guys, I want to thank Paul for doing an awesome job here producing. He does a great job every week in and week out, helps us, gets us, I'm sure he's going to give me crap once we get off tonight about my camera continuing to switch, and he's going to continue to give me a crap about that one, and I'm all for it. I really do appreciate everything you do for the show, Paul. And, fun, of course, to my other co-host, Matt, thank you very much. Even though sometimes putting up with you might not be the easiest thing with your quotes, I have a great time here on the show, and I hope that the fans of our podcast, whether it be on Facebook or YouTube, enjoy it as much as we enjoy getting to do this every Monday night.
I'm sure they do. I do. It's good.
So,
good
Matt,
stuff.
you want to say anything?
Just thank you for all the support, especially all our fans that show up every week. Number one fan, Vinny, Guillermo, James, everyone that just keeps watching, the people that keep sharing our podcast. We appreciate it so much. All my friends on Facebook that, even if you don't tune in for the whole hour, just tuning in really helps out. Everyone on YouTube that watches it, to follow the Twitter page, everything. Thank you very much. Because after all, we are the hounds of justice when it comes to wrestling podcasts.
That's right. And of course, you gave thanks to some of the people that watch. Also, a great thanks to the people that have been able to come on to the show as well, and Justin and Joe, and continuing helping with our preview shows. So
yeah,
there's so many people we could keep listing the names, but thank you to everybody. And with that being said, I think that's going to do it for us tonight. I'm sure you'll see something on Facebook on the 15th, just celebrating again the year that we it's been a year since we started. And you know what? In 2018, we'll see you here again for 2 years. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy Raw. Enjoy SmackDown on Tuesday. Congrats to Bray Wyatt and Naomi for finally winning titles. Have a great night, everybody. Stay safe.